Morning, guys. I wanted to just catch up with you guys really quick and let you know what's going on. Right there. Okay, there. It's funny how you could use you your YouTube channel to be like, oh, my hair. Yeah, what is it doing? Okay. Anyway, um, so first off, I have some very cool news. Well, cool if you guys are gamers and stuff. And I'm sorry I didn't actually upload but I don't really have like an editing program. I have iMovie, but I have like no idea how to use it. And but anyway, so I finished Hunipop. I What Hunipop basically is, for those of you guys who don't know, it's kind of like a dating sim. You live in this town, and it's got, I want to say, probably about 8 girls altogether, 8 regular girls. And you go through, you meet all of them, you get to know them, you ask them questions, and then you take them on dates. And that's when it gets interesting, because instead of your usual dating sim, it's where you have, I mean, you do have to answer the questions correctly, and every once in a while they'll quiz you and they'll be like, okay, so what's my birthday? Or how much do I weigh? Or whatever. And some of the questions they ask you just like, really? Because I wouldn't ask that question in real life, you know? But anyway, so my anyway, so I got through all the girls. And when you take them on dates, it goes into like a match three type game. It's kind of like Candy Crush or one of those types of games where you just like, where you have to match three of like different kinds of tokens, and different tokens do different things. And this is where it gets tricky, because the girls that you go out and date, they're all different. Like, some of them may like talent, which are blue tokens, and some of them might like the sexuality tokens, which are red. And so you basically have to pay attention to what your girls like and what they don't like, because they have two. They have what they like, and then they have what they don't like. So somebody may like really like sexuality, but not like talent. And so you've got to be careful that you don't hit too many of the talent tokens. And you have like a limited amount of time, and if you don't get if you don't get as many of the preferred matches, which is, it says failure right across your screen, and then your girl will usually say something. Some of them are pretty nice, and some of them are just like, can we go now? And it's like, wow. It's just funny. It's just funny to like think about, well, if I were really out on the date, what would cause that reaction, kind of thing. And so anyway, but there's three special characters that you can unlock. There's Momo the cat. She's a cat girl. She's like a girl, but she has cat ears and a tail and all that. Um, Actually, there's four. I take that back. Well, one of them's with you throughout the whole game. So how it starts out is you're at a bar and this girl approaches you. And it's funny because you start out the game being all like, you're pretty, and then you develop into being smooth and suave and all that. And well, this girl shows up at your house instead of wearing brown hair and a red dress, she's got pink hair and she's got wings. And you're just like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm a love fairy. I'm here to, you know, I'm here to help you with your problem. And it's funny, some of the questions you could ask is just like, it's just like, how'd you get into my house? And it kind of cracks me up. But anyway, so you go along and do it, and this girl helps you. She introduces you to the match 3 game, and she gives you tips and pointers, and she says, ask these girls questions, or whenever you first meet a girl, she pops up and she's like, now, here's how you want to approach, and you usually get like 3 choices. You usually get like, you know, you can be funny, you can be charming, you can be sensitive, whatever. And each girl you approach differently. And so anyway, so throughout the game you're dating all these girls, and eventually once you every time you go on a successful date, you get another heart with this girl. And then when you get to a certain point, you take the girl home. And it's interesting because it's a very sexy game. It's not a game I would recommend for children because um your girls get naked or mostly naked, and and then after successful completion of certain activities, you get pictures of them in states of undress, and it's just like, it made me giggle, but it also kind of made me go, okay, I really hope nobody's looking in my room right now, because, which, by the way, um and I've got the house to myself, but I don't know for how long, so we'll try to keep this as short as possible, just in case. But anyway, so yeah, and it's funny because you get your normal girls, you've got your kind of your mean girl, your really athletic girl, your girl who likes to go out and take a chance and go out on adventures and stuff like that. And you've got your sweet girl, um, that kind of stuff. And it's fun to watch all their different like reactions. So, but the other thing that's really fun is as you progress, you get certain things, and the first one you're not really told about, other than if you like read online or if you get your game off of Steam, it's one of the things they tell you is because you have the option of buying gifts for these ladies, which helps with the successful completion of dates and stuff. And when you're dating, you quickly realize that you have certain gifts that give you benefits. Like you may have like a perfume bottle that will allow more of this your particular lady's favorite tokens to fall onto the board. And then you may have other tokens that, if like all the favorite tokens are scattered all over the place, you can give your girl a gift and it will take all those scattered tokens that you can't combine, and it will take them all off and give you points. So sometimes if you're completely and utterly stuck and there's nothing else you can do, then you want to do that. And then, but what you have to watch out for is there are called broken heart tokens. And if you click on those, which I've done more accidentally, and there's a couple times I've had to do it intentionally because there's been no other way. There's been no other option for me. But once that happens, you lose some of the points that you gain, and you can tell because at the bottom of the screen there's like a little bar, and every time you get more points, it goes up. And once you fill up the bar, it says success and very celebratory, and it means a successful date. And if your girl has all of her hearts, then it means you get to go home. And but the funny thing is, when you take the girl home, you have to do another round of candy of the match 3. But the nice thing about that version is it lasts a lot longer. There's no timer on it, and it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what tokens you do. It's just basically you do it until she, you know, until she is happy enough. And so she basically, but anyway, so you've got Momo the cat, and how you get her is one of the gifts you can get is a bag of goldfish. And the nice thing is you can give the bag of goldfish to one of your girls because there are characters who like fish and aquariums and stuff like that. So you can give stuff like that to your girl, but when you first get the bag of goldfish, you're supposed to take it, I believe it's either to the beach or to the park. And that's the other cool thing is there's these different there's not only different places you could take your girls on dates, but there's also places where you can meet these girls. And one of them is a park, and one of them is the beach. And you're supposed to take the goldfish to one of those places and give it to the girl, and the girl will say, "Oh no, thank you," and then you look up on your goal finder and you like you're gonna go to another location. But what happens is that this cat girl shows up, and she's like, "Oh, excuse me." And she has this little baby girl voice, which is it's kind of creepy, but it's at the same time, I kind of imagine it like the ladies who do the New Jersey accent, or like the nanny, how she had that, and I'm like, it's just the way she talks. And it's funny because one of the things you learn about her is that she's 1 year old in cat years. So apparently she's like 18 in human years. And I looked that up, so I don't. But yeah, so she's like she's a cat girl. And it's funny because up to that point, you get quizzed on each, you can get quizzed by a girl. What did I say my height was? What did I say my favorite hobby was? And Momo will quiz you on those things, but she'll also quiz you on cats, which was interesting because I found out that I don't know as much about cats as I thought I did. And so that was kind of interesting. And it's the same thing. You take her on dates, you eventually take her back to your place, whatever. And then there's another thing. You have an encounter with Q, who's your love fairy. And she basically, so one of the things you have to do is you start out the game with a tissue box and a magazine. And so one of the things you have to do is eventually give Q your dirty magazine. And she's like, "Here, you can have this thing." And the only thing you know about it is that it's really weird looking and that it has sand in it or on it. And so you're supposed to take from that, then you're supposed to take it to the beach. And then you do the same thing that you did with the goldfish. You give it to a girl. She's like, oh, no, thank you. Then she takes off, and then Celeste shows up, who is an alien. And what I loved about Celeste, besides the fact that she quizzes you on space, which I surprisingly did really well on, I'm considering a lot of it was like how many miles is Earth from whatever, and I guessed it right, and so it was just like, oh wow, But she quizzes you on space as well as herself and everything. Get to ask her questions and take her on dates and stuff like that. But one of the date outfits that she has is the slave Leia bikini from Return of the Jedi. And I was just like, oh, that is so cool. Um, and then I think the very last character that you get to unlock is Venus, the goddess of love. Because eventually, you're in your bedroom, all of a sudden Q and this girl who's wearing like a Roman toga and like the laurel leaf crown and everything, they show up and they start talking about you. And it's like, and that happens throughout the game. Like every time you meet a girl, it's like she ends up having a conversation with somebody where you kind of get to know a little bit about her, but it's like it's a wonderful life, and it's like they can't see you or they don't know you're there yet. And so it's kind of fun because one of the questions you can ask, because Venus eventually dismisses Q and is like, her purpose is, she wanted to meet this person who's been successfully wooing all these girls. And then she dismisses Q, and one of the questions she can ask is, how are you people getting into my house? And it's like, by that point, I'm just rolling with it, and I'm just like, well, how would she like to be a bird? Because she's a goddess. She's very much, I'm a goddess. You should feel privileged to, and it's kind of fun because you can approach her very reverently. You can approach her very much, oh, yes, or be very charming and suave and stuff. So it's fun to try the different things. And then you do the same thing with Venus. You ask her questions, find out about her, take her on dates, eventually get her, and then finally, just last night, I won her over. And that was a lot of fun. And now apparently I have the option of playing in alpha mode, which apparently is stuck on hard mode, because there's 3 different versions. There's easy, there's medium, and there's hard. I've been on easy because somehow it got onto like normal mode and it was way too difficult. So it was just like, okay, we're getting back on easy. But apparently now it's like if you can do all these dates, so many dates in like a little amount of time, you get, I don't know what you get. I don't know what you win or anything. But anyway, so I'm trying to decide if I want to even attempt that. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that game. And that was a lot of fun. That was definitely a different game than I'm used to. Um, so the other thing, I had to talk about, and I may have to go because I think I just heard somebody downstairs. But anyway, so other than that, things are going okay. Keith's computer died, or he lost power. He keeps blowing a fuse every time he tries to plug his computer in. So, I didn't really get to talk to him much yesterday, and I won't get to talk to him much today, but hopefully on Wednesday he'll be able to. He's got like a backup laptop that one of his family members has, and he's hopefully going to be able to get that from them. Um, so yeah, so I'm just trying to hang on until and just talk via texting or whatever. Um, but yeah, so other than that, um, the knee's doing okay. I'm still in my regimen of taking like a leave and trying to take care of it as much as possible. It's just kind of difficult. And so, yeah, other than that, Thanksgiving was fun. Thanksgiving was okay. I still kind of feel sometimes like I don't quite fit in, you know, like I end up talking to Elaine, who's my aunt's friend most of the time. But, it's okay. And then I ended up working Black Friday, and it was pretty quiet, not much going on there. That's gonna take some getting used to, especially over the holidays, because I'm used to, like Best Buy or Target or whatever, where it's insanely crazy from like right before Thanksgiving all the way through to January. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, how crazy, or if it gets crazy, or if it just kind of ends up being like normal. Um, so, oh, and I've been slowly but surely buying presents, buying gifts, for the people on my list. I've got my sister taken care of, my niece got 2 presents for her. I've got, part of my mom's present, and I need to get another thing for her. I need to get 2 things for dad. I need to get something for the grab bag gift thing that we usually end up doing on Christmas Day, even though, as far as right now, I will be working on Christmas Day. And again, really curious to see if that's slow or if that's busy or whatever. And also, I bought this cute little thing. I've seen ladies, with the scarves around their neck and kind of twisty and everything, and I saw this. And we have certain days at work that we can wear like holiday themed stuff. And I saw this little guy with the snowman, and I thought, well, that is really cute. I could wear that. And I also, my other latest acquisition is a tube of Wet n Wild lipstick. And the color is dark pink frost, and I've never tried Wet n Wild before, so I'm gonna give it a try, and we'll see how it does. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell. That's what's been going on, and I want to keep it kind of short today, guys, because I don't want it to run on too terribly long. But I wanted to keep you guys updated as to what was going on, and kind of in the thrill of the holidays and everything. Oh, I also bought glitter tree, little glitter tree for my desk, and yeah. So other than that, things are going fairly well, and I'm hoping that they continue to go fairly well. Um, but yeah, so not sure when the next time I'm going to be able to upload a video might be, or release a gameplay video. I will do my best though. but keep hanging in there. Troll YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And but yeah. So I hope you guys have a great day today, and I will talk to you later.